Hello and welcome to a brand new live. I don't know why I say brand new every week. Anyway, welcome to the 5 Heart Podcast live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. I'm your host, Greg Mahochko. This handsome devil over here is the Silver Fox, our founder and fearless leader, Mr. John Dam Johnston.
That's how we're starting, huh?
That's how we're starting.
Okay, yeah. All right. Ooh.
And we don't have a great nickname for her yet, but we have
yet.
Oh, sorry.
She doesn't need a nickname.
She
has a unique name anyway.
Here's Minnie.
Thank you.
I mean, John and Greg.
John
Come on, John and Greg. I mean, you could yell in a room full of 100 people, John, and like 30 of them would go, what? Greg, 15 of them. Minnie, there's only one Minnie.
This is how we're starting the dinner show.
Yeah, we're starting running around with our heads cut off. Thank God Minnie's organized.
Yeah, I don't know. The show would be lost.
Okay. Tiger Shark Driver says, John, where's John Barrymore's robe? I have other stuff like this. This is the unisex hoodie. If you go to cobbycorn.com, this is going to go away in 2 weeks. They no longer offer it.
The what hoodie, John?
Unisex.
John, this is an all ages show.
It is
unisex.
Not. No, it's not. It's not.
This is a unisex show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see here. Everybody says hi. I mean, look, people have been jumping in the comments. Tiger Shark Diver with the first one at 8:20. Everybody says hi. Let's just run. Everybody's here. Everybody says hi to everybody. And they're all jumping in on the fact that we titled the show the Rex Burkhead Appreciation Show, which we will absolutely show mad love and respect to one of the best ever do it for the Nebraska Cornhuskers later in the show.
Okay.
Everybody all up to speed? Did I leave anything out?
I think, Greg.
Yes, ma'am.
You're freezing, and so is John.
Maybe
for
you're
some
freezing.
reason. I didn't know.
This stuff happens. It's the internet. So. It's probably somebody attacking something somewhere, which is kind of a joke because everybody's attacking everybody everywhere else all the time. Okay. Anyway.
All the time.
Yeah.
John, does that happen all the time in the security or IT world?
Yes, it does.
I talked to someone today, work related, and I said, "Oh, what do you do?" He says, "I work for the Air Force in cybersecurity." I said, "Oh, I bet that's a fun job." I don't envy that at all. That seems like a lot of stress.
Yeah, depending upon the situation. I mean, mostly if you're working in an area where it's, where you're monitoring and you're kind of just taking care of stuff and you're managing, then it's not terrible. But if you're like I go in a lot when companies get attacked, then it's extremely stressful. I don't do it much anymore because I can't handle. I used to eat stress like candy. I've had CEOs spit in my face screaming at me, and I enjoyed every fucking second.
Your heart attack.
Yeah. Well, no, denial. I'm in denial. You stop, lady.
A couple things. First of all, I made the mistake of using colorful language and said the phrase "mad love," and Fred says, "I bet mad love is the only kind of love John shows."
Yeah, it's true.
And Drake Westfield is in here, says friendly infiltration, go Blue Jays, but paid us $1.99. So we have a price. If you want us to say ridiculous crap, I mean, we do it all the time, quite a bit for free. I don't know if we would say, quote, go Blue Jays for free, but Drake paid us to say it. So yes, go Toronto Blue Jays.
Okay.
Speaking of cybersecurity, John, and I don't know if this is a plug, but in 2020, less than a week after I graduated high school, I had reconstructive surgery on my right foot. And later in the summer, I had the same operation done on my left foot. So I spent the summer after graduation, the summer I turned 18, on crutches, which meant I read a lot. And I was gifted this one book, and then I thought it was great. They kept making more of these books, but it is a Tom Clancy novel, and it's called Net Force.
Yeah.
is about a government entity that all they do is they, protect the world from cyber criminals, things like that. So in talking cybersecurity, I said, oh, I have a box of all these books. They're going to go to a book fair or something like that and for charity. But since it was relatively handy, I thought I'd endorse the early books. The later books got kind of crazy, but
when I started Corn Nation, I decided if I'm going to write about college football, I better know everything about it I can. And I started reading books, a lot of them, tons of them, massive shit tons of them. And I would request them from, publishers, and they would send me their books, and I review them on Corn Nation. And then years ago, my wife was like, okay, you know what? This is a little ridiculous. And I boxed up, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 really large boxes, and I donated them to my local library. And then I died, and then I forgot all that stuff. And now I'm trying to do this football history thing and relearn it. And if I go to the library, they don't have any of the books I donated to them. Which is kind of a little frustrating, because there are a few of them that there are a few of them that are kind of hard to find. Now, I would never do this with a Milt Tinnerper book, but
no, never.
Or
you will never let that out of your
Nebraska
clutches.
books. I kept some of them, but most of them are gone, and it's really, I want to weep inside. You're not getting in here, Minnie, which is just.
Well, I do. I love Tom Clancy. He has the best spy novels ever. I don't know if there's anybody better.
Jack Ryan, isn't that Tom Clancy? Isn't that okay? By the way, Fred says that our former head coach liked Fish Net Force instead of Net Force.
I agree with that.
Terrell Farley's Taint says, I'll be the judge of what's crazy here, Greg. Thank you. And Aaron says, wow, no rope for John, and Greg combed his hair. Is it a holiday or something? I think the biggest thing is that I have enough hair that I can actually comb. So I guess I need to go to the barber. John, can we go to the barber together?
No.
Please.
I'm not going to no barber.
Okay.
No barber.
Cut
John, you and I should go to the same hair person. I'll take you to my hair person.
Oh, really?
Well, there's so much body in the hair, and I don't really know how to describe women's hair. I apologize already. So
we should move on.
Okay. Yes, we actually have topics. Again, we have a show organizer now. I guess I'm still the producer. Minnie is the brains behind the operation, and John's just the talent. So
now I just yell at people.
I'm not going to.
Organizer.
Thank you.
No, I think you run things now. Let's just be honest. You're just running things now. This is why I chose you. I knew you could do it.
Well, thank you.
Yes. Happy belated National Girls and Women in Sports Day, Minnie.
That is awesome. Hey, the Huskers put together quite a deal yesterday.
Oh, you
had
2 for 1? Buy one, get one free? Mm-hmm. What kind of deal are we talking
really
here?
Good. No. It wasn't okay. They put on this women's and girls event. Didn't you guys see that?
No. It wasn't for guys with long hair. It was for women and girls. When I get those in the inbox, I just like, we have women on the Corn Nation site, and they'll pay attention to it. I don't have to look at that stuff.
Yeah, it's just like they're the ones who pay attention to the WNBA.
It was neat, and they even put out a video on it.
So what was it?
Guys, come on.
You're going to have to just tell us because we don't know.
Where they had like the volleyball players and like all the women's players that were available were there, and then girls could come in and meet like their heroes. It was kind of neat.
Well, that is good. I like that.
Yeah, and then on the Husker YouTube channel, they put out a video of Dr. What's her name? Dr. Elsa. And then all the other ladies that are involved in the football program, and they highlighted them. It was really great.
Well,
I
now you're
enjoyed
making
it.
me feel bad for missing it. So thank you. Now
Yeah.
I feel like crap.
It was football related. So
He's so easy. I feel guilty. I feel nothing.
That we
Ah,
know. That,
okay.
The part of you that felt anything, John, died.
Yeah, it did. It's
7 years
true.
or whatever.
There's a
All
lot
right.
of truth in that.
Well, that is awesome. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I'll go find that video and we'll try to share it somewhere.
it was awesome.
But also yesterday, technically last night, technically about 24 hours ago, Nebraska men's basketball team,
Yeah.
while the women were being celebrated, the men were pooping in the punch bowl.
Well, they didn't play very good. You know, Northwestern has the same problem that we do. Okay. I think Northwestern let's look it up real quick. I have to do this. I had this earlier and then I got disorganized and then I was in a rush because I got involved in a way too long game of Overwatch. And let's see, Northwestern right now is 4th in the Big Ten. And the problem with Northwestern is everybody expects them to be crappy. So everybody looks at it and goes, well, we should beat Northwestern. And then we lose to them at home. Well, guess what? Northwestern is 12-1 at home. You know, just like most of the other Big Ten schools, but Michigan has a winning record at home. So they did not play well. They fought until the end. They got it back within within like not horrifying, which is good because the problem they have is this. If they keep getting blown out on the road, their net ranking will drop and the NCAA selection committee will look unfavorably on them because they don't like road teams that get blown out. Everybody in the country appears to have problems winning road games right now, not just the Big Ten, but
Right.
it's like a pandemic.
Didn't like North Carolina lose on the road to Clemson or something like that? I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, Kansas State beat
I didn't know
Kansas.
that.
You know, people are getting beat all over the place.
I felt like on that Illinois game, we did really well.
We did. We played
I
extremely
mean,
well.
it went into overtime, and we just
Yeah.
It didn't hurt as bad. It felt like okay. If anyone from the committee's watching it, they're definitely going to be taking notice of how hard we played.
Yeah.
I want to say, going back to that, and obviously we'll talk about the Wisconsin game because that was important too. First of all, when that Illinois game, just to show that my brain was obviously on the weekend, I was like, oh, what time does that game start? So I ran it through Google and it said 6:30. I said, cool. Didn't say 6:30 Eastern.
Well, they're always Eastern.
Yeah, but sometimes anyway. So by the time I turned it on, it was 6:30 Central, and Nebraska was leading by 2 points at half. And I said, oh, well, that's honestly better than I thought they would be doing, playing on the road. Champaign's a tough place to play, excuse me. And I just thought, hey, we got a shot. And the second half was very predictable, back and forth, back and forth. At one point, I think we were down 12.
Yeah.
7,
there was
15.
a point which we could have folded.
Yeah. And we didn't. And we rallied. You can say all you want about Big Ten officiating, but let's face it. Big Ten officiating sucks in football, basketball, baseball, just across the board. The officiating is subpar. Still, you make you attempt a few more higher percentage shots. You don't have. I say this, I love the kid as an athlete, as a Husker, but some of those like Keisei Tominaga shots were not the best looks, we'll say.
Good God.
Why?
Look at this crap.
What did he say?
Josh Hansen
When
said,
this all
Fred,
blows
I
over
missed
what?
you this week, man. And then Fred Sacco comes back with, I missed you too, Josh. When this all blows over, we should get an apartment together. Okay. I'm glad that we have this much of a community that you guys can do this kind of stuff. I'm sorry I cut into your stuff there, Greg.
No, it's fine. And then Josh says, I miss your Musk. So
yeah.
No, you can't pin that loss on the officials. It comes down to you got to take a few more higher percentage shots. But you know what? Ranked mass battles, we struggled getting some rebounds, especially on the defensive side. We gave Illinois way too many second and third opportunities. These, I think, are things that are fixable. And like I said, Illinois is a tough environment to play in. I've been to Nebraska, Illinois basketball games in Champaign. That was, just to let you know, the idea of the year, that was Teran Petaway, Walter Pitchford years, so that's about a decade ago. I still see a glimmer of hope, but I was really hoping that they would, make something happen against Northwestern. It's tough. Like we talk about it every year. The Big Ten is tough to win on the road. And I'll say this, to their credit, Nebraska can defend that home court. Man, a week ago against Wisconsin, they were down big. And talk about another opportunity to fold.
Best game. Best.
I think you're right, Minnie. I think
best game I have seen in a long time.
I think that effort trumps the win over Purdue. John?
Well, we have Michigan up next and Penn State up next, both home games. So, and then we have Indiana and Bloomington. That'll be tough. We have Minnesota at home. And then, we're going to finish the season with Ohio State on the road, and Ohio State is terrible this year. Not very good. They're not very Buckeye-like. And then Rutgers in Lincoln, and then Michigan and Ann Arbor, and Michigan is really not very good. Although they did upset Wisconsin the other night. Wisconsin had, I think, 3 losses in a row. So, there's some chances to see what we can do toward the end of the season. I think that we're a tournament team, and we just have to play through the rest of the season without losing anybody important and, keep everybody. Here's the thing. I've seen a lot of people say, well, they'll never win a tournament game on the road, blah, blah, blah. Well, they're neutral sites, for God's sakes. They're all going to play at neutral sites. They're not going to play somebody in their own home arena. So, that's a completely different ball game over there.
And honestly,
Joel Tilson says over 20 wins for the Huskers. Yeah, I think so. I mean, listen, even if we get to the NIT, this is so many times better than the crap we've seen for God knows how many years out of this basketball program. So, it has life. That's good. That's pretty, happy, positive. I missed the board, went right out of my brain, didn't go into my mouth and out. Exhilarating, exciting.
I'll say this, you mentioned
it's exciting to watch the team play with heart.
And John, you mentioned a little bit of the rundown of the remaining schedule for the Husker men's basketball team. I honestly, the way this team plays, I'm excited to see them in neutral venue situations. But this is a team. Look, they have in 2 separate occasions beat the top team in the conference, Purdue and Wisconsin. This is a team that can go out there and flat play with anybody. This is a team that could honestly make some noise in the Big Ten tournament. And if they're still playing on Saturday, there's no way that they're not going to the tournament. You can put all the talk about last 4 in behind it, because if they're playing in the conference semifinals, they're going probably as a 8-9 seed.
Do you know what one of the best things about this is?
We're talking about it?
Yeah, we're talking about our men's basketball team. And I realize that most of you want us to talk about football. My camera just went all out of focus. Maybe it's me. But, for us that do this and have to live with this, my God, it really went out of focus. It's nice to have other teams to talk about. I mean, we look forward to softball started playing tonight. Jordy Ball left the field injured. But the one thing that about this, holy shit, the one thing about this team is that there's no drama for football. That's the reason why everybody's talking about men's basketball. Like there was this comment that Matt Rhule said that people come up to him on the street And he jokingly said there were tears in our eyes, and they ask about the scholarship numbers and how that's going to work. Well, they have to come up with stupid questions like that because we got used to so much drama over the last 6 years with that other guy, and then we
That's
don't
kinda
have that
true.
drama anymore. So unless it's about the basketball program, but wow. I just thought I'd point that out.
I'll
come back out and come back in.
The thing about the basketball program is it's so interesting because it feels like they are definitely getting like towards the end of the second. Hello?
I'm here. Oh no, I'm here. No worry. I thought I heard something up in my house, but we're good.
That's okay. Towards the end of the second part, the second half, it feels like that's when they really get their momentum. I mean, we were down by 10 at the last game with 50 seconds left to go. But do you know at halftime we were down by like 21 or something?
It's
against Northwestern.
And I'll say this too.
It just
one of the things that the announcers, they're it's been a big, I think, emphasis for Hoiberg is the depth of this team.
Yeah,
and we go back to that Wisconsin game when I'll say Tominaga was cold from the floor, but Wilcher comes in off the bench and ends up leading the team in scoring at 20-something points, and you never. Rank Mast has had big games. You just never know who's going to step up and lead, and that's going to be crucial because I think some of the other Big Ten teams are as we get to the end of February, as we get to the Big Ten tournament, they're going to become one-dimensional.
Hopefully. We'll see what happens. There's a lot of stuff left to play. There's, plenty of games left. There's plenty of games for this to all be magical, and there's plenty of games for this to all just shit can itself. That's why we love sports.
Josh is drunk.
Oh my God. We're not reading that, for God's sakes. Okay, what's next?
Well, this is a great time to remind everybody, especially if they're watching on YouTube, to get out there, do your YouTube due diligence, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and make sure you hit that notifications bell. And this worked a lot better last time we did it when John wasn't here and we weren't blocking anybody's lower picture. So many apologies to you. So
just take him out of it.
Yeah, see that? How do I move myself? Hey, look at that. There you go. All right. Becky.
We're shuffling.
Wait, there's musical chairs. All right, no, we don't want to do that. Sorry, this is my show. Damn it, I get first spot.
Yeah.
So that we have some other tidbits to discuss, some announcements, some I believe the word was housekeeping, John.
Yes, housekeeping. We will be having a softball show for this season. I'm not sure when that's going to start. I'm not in charge of it. Andy Kenderson, Jaden, and Miley will be doing the softball show, and we will try to do a baseball preview show that's separate from our live shows before the year starts, before baseball starts. So, here's the thing. My goal at Coronation has always been to cover as many sports as we possibly could. And
if you're a women's rifle specialist, let us know.
You want to write about it, then send me a note. I mean, here's the thing. I realize again, I'm going to say this again. We all love football. We want everything to be about football. Well, for me, that runs this thing where we have a university has 22 varsity sports or 22 NCAA sports. I think we do a disservice to the other athletes by not talking about them once in a while. So that's why we have wrestling. That's why we have softball. That's why we've made pains to cover women's basketball and men's basketball. And, there you go.
I'll go so far as to say, I think we're doing more than the traditional media. I don't know if anybody at the Lincoln Journal-Star or Omaha World Herald are covering wrestling like we are.
No, they're not really.
And to that, and I've said this live on the show, and I'll say it again. I don't think anybody covers volleyball as well as Beth does. and I don't think anybody covers wrestling as well as Dylan does. And that's why
Yeah.
Dylan writes for Flow Wrestling as well. It's, we're not just bringing in fans. I mean, that's how I came in, like I'm lowest rung, but like the people that we bring in to actually write are super passionate and super knowledgeable. And that's why, their little PSA to anybody watching this, if you love Nebraska Cornhusker blank, sport, and you follow it and you follow Corn Nation, you're like, they don't really cover this as much as I'd like to see them cover it. You got to let us know. You got to take a little bit of initiative like Minnie did and just send John an email at cornnation@gmail.com and say, hey, I love women's bowling, and I want to cover this tremendously successful program that nobody ever talks about. So.
Okay. I think that's housekeeping.
Okay.
I love that.
Just let me know when that softball show starts, because that's more work for me too, but I'll do it.
Good.
I know the check's in the mail.
Right. Don't you ever change, and I'll see you in church.
By the way, Fred's absolutely right. One down. I've got one more with me. Any more than I'd have to get up again. But Yingling goes down so smooth. America's oldest brewery. Tremendous. They know what they're doing. Sometimes,
Okay.
John, I just say things for you to react, and when you don't, it breaks my heart a little bit.
I know. I'm all over the place.
Phil Spear says, did I get new specs? Yes, this is technically just about 2 weeks into having glasses, and it's still weird. And sometimes I still forget to put them on in the morning. And then I'm chasing my children around without glasses. So you get old, and your memory and your vision's the first things to go, apparently. So next is the knee replacement, and we'll see y'all I cannot wait to be John's age, except I'll be rolling around in an old folks home. I don't know how he does it, honestly. At his age, I don't know how he's upright most days. So
How do you do it, John?
I meditate. I meditate a lot.
I actually believe that.
I do too, because
It's actually true.
It's
actually true. The reason why I wasn't here last week is because we had a 3-hour Zoom meeting, and I was with some IT guys, and we were working on some scripting language stuff. And I'm not a very good programmer, but specifically coming up with scripts and programming fries my brain. So my headaches were so severe the rest of the day. It lasted into Friday, but literally I stop and I meditate periodically because, you have to, otherwise my brain explodes. Tiger Shark Driver says, John smokes Wheatle and the pots. Well, I don't smoke anything. I don't know. They sell gummies. These are legal now, at least in Minnesota.
They're legal in Illinois.
And I don't take massive amounts of them because I don't really like being stoned, but they do help with pain is what they help with.
Josh says we should all strive to be as old as the last living veteran of the War of 1812.
It was a great time.
You were there, right? Weren't you on the ship with Francis Scott Key when he looked out over the harbor and saw the flag?
I did. Yeah, I turned and I looked at him and said, "Hey, Francis, oh say, can you see?"
Oh, say, can you see?
He didn't have his glasses on, so I had to point shit out to him. The bomb's bursting in air.
It's a shame that you don't get royalties off of that. Like every time it's played, John gets a nickel. A little writing credit. All right, moving on. So yesterday was not as busy of a day as the Wednesday before Christmas, but it was officially National Signing Day. A little steam comes out of a little air comes out of those sails with the early signing period. But Nebraska did pick up a couple, and Minnie's here to tell us all about it.
Yeah.
Yes, we all got our football Husker fix. So Matt Rhule got he came. I know. Let's do it.
Sorry. That's me. You don't have
to. We got to see him He gave a press conference yesterday, and it was after, I guess, one of the guys had to like make an announce. He wanted to make an announcement. So we got 2 guys signed officially yesterday, and I'm gonna mess up their names, and I don't want to do that.
Well, that's part of this show.
Will Height. Well, I mean, I don't want to mess up his name, especially because guess what, guys? He's from Tucson, Arizona.
Oh, is he?
Is that down the road or up the road?
That would be down the road.
South, about 90 miles, I think, if I remember.
Yeah.
And did you try to get on the chain gang there?
Have not.
Okay.
No, I did not.
It's never too late.
4-star. Guys, we got another
Really?
4-star. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I know.
John, he's
So
6'5", 240.
Mhm.
What position?
Defensive end.
Yep.
That sounds fun.
He's our final scholarship given away for the class of 24. You know, and I really love that Matt Rhule made that like proclamation. He's like, okay, we're doing this. Hashtag 24 hours, right? He had that whole build up to it.
Right.
And he did not let us down because guess
That's
what
true.
our ranking was overall
Oh,
for the signing class.
18.
Yeah.
Is it?
Here's the thing, Minnie.
What?
You
What?
give us all the show notes, and then you say, "Can you guess what it is?" And it's in the show notes. So,
I wasn't looking at him.
well, I was.
Somebody said
Oh,
17th,
you mean I just guessed?
Yeah, you did, and it's 18. You're absolutely
Wow.
right, John.
16th, 17th. You guys are so close. 18th.
18.
Which is we haven't done that since 2019, right? And even then, it was kind of like I think he was just getting 4-star players that were kind of like heard of.
Well,
We've actually checked out these guys; they are legit.
Well, not only that, but I think that this coaching staff, Matt Rhule and company, will do more with these players than former HCSF did with those, and that's why honestly I'd be okay with a class full of 3-stars because I think that this coaching staff is talented enough to just get every drop of effort and potential out of them. And I mean, we heard some of the stories, and we even heard the news reports about like weight room sessions and things like that, and how some was Zach Duvall had some of these guys lifting, and I know Haas would say he's like it's not great, you're lifting heavy, but it's not functional, and I think that this staff is poised to just get every bit of potential out of these kids.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right, Greg. Totally. And that's why we have, we have positions I've never even heard of. We have a general manager now, which we've never talked about. I mean,
Right.
That's crazy. We have so many different positions, and the NCAA is going to vote on whether or not the analysts, the coaching. So that would be a big deal because we have analysts that are coaches that can coach. So
a couple of not points of contention or disputes or anything like that, just other sources. Terrell Farley's taint says 16th on Rivals ahead of Penn State and USC. Bone Led Corn Fed says On3 has us at 21, but I think On3 is just crazy biased against Nebraska.
They dropped Dylan Royola
did.
They dropped him by quite a ways. So
and nothing hurt Minnie's feelings more. She was devastated.
I still am.
You could tell there was joy in her face, and then we brought up On3 and what they did to Dylan. And look, she that's not a smile, that's a smirk of vengeance, and you can just tell there's no joy in Minnie's face right now. Just kidding.
Well, what's funny is I do enjoy it when people kind of pick apart On3 now, because it's not. Some of their things do not make any sense, and that's one of them for sure.
Let's see here. Phil Spear. Sorry, John. I want to hit this. Phil Spear asked if this is our first 5-star since Marlon Lucky, and I believe it is. Because we know both. Yeah.
I don't think it. I don't know.
I don't know if we've ever had a fight. I mean, who's Marlon?
Not a quarterback.
Marlon Lucky was under Bill Callahan. He was
Yeah.
a running back. He was, I think he set a school record for receptions, or it was close to it. He was pretty good. I mean, he was a damn good player, but he didn't have the team around him that some of the stars that everybody remembers forever.
And look, we know that Bo Pelini and Mike Riley weren't pulling any 5 stars.
That's for sure.
And Fred Sacco, how dare you? Fred Sacco says 5 stars is all you need. Anybody who knows one of the more recent episodes asked how the show got its name. Fred, I'm sad for you. And TFT says, I heard Dylan is actually a 6-star. And this is going to be a joke that's going to fall deaf on most people, but he's only a 6-star in the Tokyo Dome. And for that one, I just say, if you know, you know. Some of you will understand that, and some of you will not.
Okay. Greg, you'll have to tell me. Greg, you're going to have to fill me in.
Oh, let's do that off air. We don't want it. Yeah, we don't. Want
okay.
Phil says that On 3 did him dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Fred says Minnie's going to slash On 3's tires real good.
No idea.
So anyway, a lot to hear about.
Well, we also got another guy. Let's just not only talk about him. So, okay.
Sorry.
Keona Wilhite, he was ranked 24th edge in the nation. Pretty cool. Okay. We also got Kamir Prescott. And that is how you say his last name.
I wasn't. Oh, yeah. Instead
Not
of the
Prescott, it's
Arizona.
Prescott.
Yeah. Well, that just means to show that Prescott, Arizona says it wrong.
What? How dare you? How dare you, Greg?
Hey, come on.
Okay,
why don't you just call it Prescott Frost, Arizona? Just make it full circle.
Ooh, ouch.
Sorry, that's the England talking. It's not. I'm just being a shit.
Okay. He's from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He was committed to Wisconsin. And he came in, I remember last year in April, he was at the spring game and he was interviewed, and he then committed to Wisconsin. And then for some reason in December, he decommitted. So we were fortunate enough to stay in contact with him and grab him. So he's number 67 at his position in the country.
6'1", 190 safety.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. That's good.
Let's. I don't not to, jump off, change topic back, but with Keona Wilhite, he was committed to Washington, and then when the head coach went to Alabama, obviously that frees up, a whole lot of things. So, it's not. I mean, that's not a small get. I don't think, because Washington was definitely program headed the right direction. They're going to face some attrition. I don't know if they're going to, be able to bounce back as quickly. So, yeah, I mean, we're not.
I don't think so either.
It's not so much that we're. Is that Esther? Give her a paper towel or something. Come on.
No, this is kind of unusual for.
That's what I'm saying. That's out of character for her.
It is.
All right, so John's gonna go take care of the dog. When you look at it, look, committed to Washington, with him and with Kamir Prescott, being a Wisconsin commit that we flipped, I have more confidence in this coaching staff than I think I've had in the Nebraskan coaching staff for as long as I've been a fan. So,
same.
Yeah,
I'm so excited to see what the future holds for us.
John, any final thoughts on National Signing Day?
I think somebody was walking through my backyard in the middle of the night.
Don't they know better than to do that?
Yeah, they should. They obviously don't know my dog. Okay.
All right. So a couple things here. Aaron Rostovsky says that Aaron Green was 5-star per ESPN. Couple in here about Sue. Sue was a 3-star, 4-star. Bone-Leg Corn-Fed asked if he was 5-star. He was not. No, I didn't highlight that. Let's see. Aaron also says Baker Steinkuhler was 5-star per Rival.
I think he
so
was.
It's
It's all
just so
over the place
subjective.
with these recruiting services.
It really
and
is.
Highlander Go wants to know if you're packing, John. Are you going on a trip?
And no,
I don't think he meant that.
I don't
think he
either.
meant packing.
Oh,
No,
As
I
in
don't.
there's like an intruder.
No.
Interesting.
I have a
Jesus
machete.
Christ, Josh.
What?
What the hell's going on with
What?
Josh tonight?
He's got to be drinking more Yinglings than you.
I don't think he might be drinking some whiskey or scotch or something. I don't know. Enjoying a cigar out in his heated garage. This is what I bring. It's me and my friends, and that's my friend. So I'll claim him.
Wow.
So and I'm happy to say that I beat him in Wordle today and all the other games we play. So take that, Josh. I don't usually get to say that. So, all right. Well, let's get to our main topic, our main event of the night, of the week, as it was announced by this individual just a couple of days ago that, after 10 years in the NFL, going, from 3 different teams, winning a Super Bowl with one of them, our beloved sexy Rexy Burkhead was hanging up the pads and retiring from the NFL. And it's just, what all you can do is you can stand up and raise a glass and give an ovation to the man who, for all of his accomplishments on the field, I said this in the little write-up that I did, and we'll talk about it all. Don't worry. I think still his greatest accomplishment will be the level of awareness, like how he raised the awareness of, the Team Jack Foundation, pediatric cancer, things like that. And, that relationship that helped young Jack Hoffman and participate in the spring game all those years back. And gosh, that was 3 head coaches ago. That feels like a lifetime ago. And then Jack grows up and he's playing football in high school, and I'm not trying to sidetrack, but it's tragic that he lost his dad so early when Andy passed just a couple of years ago. But it could have come across as a PR stunt, like, oh yeah, no, Team Jack, and he's my little buddy. I don't think Rex ever said that, but this is a relationship that has continued over the years. If you ever went to RB Rex, I want to say 23, whatever it is on X or formerly Twitter, his website is still the Team Jack Foundation website. It's not nothing. I don't think this young man, speaking of Rex Burkhead, has ever sought any personal glory or accolades or anything like that. I think that he has always just used his platform to elevate others, and again, in this case, Team Jack. So, we could talk about the stats, and we will, but I think his greatest contribution over his career, both at Nebraska and in the NFL, is what he's done for the Team Jack Foundation.
Yeah, I love that. It really is heartwarming. When you reach out to a kid just because, you hear a story and you're like, wait a second, I gotta meet this kid. And then to form a relationship with him and to keep it all those years, that's a pretty honorable person. Aside from being a great football player, you're right. So yes, let's raise a glass to Rex.
I got this today. Now the camera's going to go wonky again.
I see it there.
Okay, it's Team Jack Foundation
News.
It doesn't want to focus on this. There you go. You can see it. But
damn right, Aaron. Rex Burkhead was 5 hearts.
Team Jack awards $1,098,000 in research grants to 3 national award recipients, and I'm not going to read what they got it for because these are really big medical words. I have no idea what they mean. So, but it's interesting. It's all the people that are involved with Team Jack, the Team Jack Gala coming up. I didn't realize all this funding was going on. The Radiothon, I didn't realize that was going on. different things that people are doing to raise money for Team Jack Foundation. I knew they had a run, but I don't get down to Nebraska enough, I guess, to figure out what's going on down there. But now I can stay in touch with them. So there you go.
That's awesome. TFT had the theory that he personally put the Jack Hoffman touchdown on the shoddy run defense. I mean, if you think about it, that play took a long time to develop, and still they just couldn't. They couldn't bring him down. So,
I want, I
that's a good comment.
I want anybody of the people that are here in the comments, did any of you think that Rex Burkhead, when he left Nebraska, would spend 10 years in the NFL?
That's fair.
Nobody thought that. Like,
Well,
zero. Maybe the only person that thought that was Rex Burkhead. But you looked at him and he was he always struck me as the guy that you never wanted to tackle in what do they call it now? Kill the carrier, smear the carrier.
Yeah, that's definitely what
beat the hell out of you if you tried, even if there was like 5 of you trying to tackle the guy. I mean, he just ran so beautifully, and he was so fun to watch. I don't remember a lot of specifics about Rex Burkhead, but that's my impression of him, is always the guy that just found a way to make yards all the time.
Well, we'll definitely talk about it. And Roger says
look
no.
Look at this. Look at this.
Well, hold on, stop.
What?
What is that?
Yeah. So Roger says no. Roger didn't think he'd have a 10-year career. Marianne on Facebook says yes. Fred says, I thought that, John. Don't be such a hater. Josh says, as hard as Rex runs, I thought he'd make 2 or 3 years and blow his knees out.
I thought that he would be 2 or 3 years.
He did get injured.
James Boardman says, thought practice squad at best.
Yeah.
TFT says, I did because if Will Compton can, anyone can.
Wow. Wow.
I like the way he thinks. There's hope.
There was a comment up above about what the Husker defense, the shoddy Husker defense that allowed Jack Hoffman to score that touchdown, did the same against Wisconsin. And Che Blutarski says, unfortunately, they allowed Melvin Gordon to reenact the Hoffman run 8 times that year.
What was that Wisconsin game? Wasn't it like 60-something to 3?
Stop.
Which one?
It doesn't matter. They're all painful.
Oh, now I'm weeping inside.
That's what he's talking about.
Let's see. Roger Moore, in talking about that particular game that young people play, says that's very PC of you, John.
Well, nobody says that anymore. So
they did in the comments. I didn't highlight it, but we all know what game it was. And Aaron says that yes, because Rex had elite balance, good size, and hands good enough to be an NFL wide receiver. And he was the Bengals' number 3 wide receiver for a few games. Wow. This is the, by the way, if you don't know, Aaron is a writer for CornNation.com. This is the type of insight you get at CornNation.com, which is why you're here. Sometimes, we drink beers and talk about other things, but sometimes you get actual honest to God analysis, and that's what's great. So, let's see.
Mostly from other people that aren't me.
Yeah. Jay says backup running backs that are versatile can last a long time. They don't get enough carries to shorten their career.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's talk about it. So, he went to Plano Senior High School, Plano, Texas. He, as a junior, he rushed for 1,700 yards and 28 touchdowns, and they got to the semifinals. And he was first team all district in basketball as junior and senior and freshman, and part of the Class 5A state championship basketball team. So, you always talk about, or you'll always hear coaches talk about. Matt Rhule's definitely one of them, which we'll touch on here in a bit. The importance of having multi-sport athletes. So, a freshman in 2009, he had 81 carries for 349 yards and 3 touchdowns. By the way, talk about underrated or underappreciated past players. As a sophomore in 2010, he was number 2 running back behind Roy Halou Jr. And I just remember
I do. I remember that.
Watching Roy Halou Jr. run up and down the field in the Big 12 was so fun.
It was.
But he had 172 carries in his sophomore year behind Roy Halou. Had almost 300 carries the next year. For his career, over 600 carries, 3,300 yards, 30 touchdowns running, another 5 touchdowns receiving. He finished with almost 4,000 all-purpose yards. And then he parlayed that into a 10-year NFL career, and he was a Super Bowl champion. And I don't care if you're the starting quarterback or the backup long snapper. If you're a Super Bowl champion, you get the same ring as everybody else. So,
yeah, that's great. I thought it was interesting that he didn't go until the 6th round in the draft.
I'd have to see. I'm gonna do a quick search. Y'all talk.
I wonder how many people actually last 10 plus years.
Not very many as running backs, that's for sure. I mean, I think the average lifespan of an NFL player is like 3 years, but running backs usually get beat up. Like somebody mentioned, he didn't have enough carries to really shorten his career, but they still beat the shit out of running backs. But a 10-year career is pretty phenomenal for anybody.
So I want to just kind of a little background here as far as some of the running backs who were drafted in 2013. I'm going to tell you this list, and I don't think that many of them stuck around, if I'm being 100% honest. Monty Ball, of course, the Wisconsin Badger running back, Eddie Lacy, Mike James, Jonathan Franklin. So as a great example, Ray Graham was drafted. No, that's a bad example. Never mind. Giovanni Bernard was drafted. All right, here we go. Finally, get to the Le'Veon Bell was drafted 13th. So as far as running backs taken, Rex was the last one. It says number 30, but there's no number 27 listed, so that's crazy. But most of these guys did not have, I don't think, 10-year careers.
No. I mean, I think Monty Ball got beat up. So did the Michigan State back. Le'Veon.
Le'Veon Bell. So I'm gonna say this as a Steelers fan, what the Le'Veon Bell in college at Michigan State was a bigger bodied running back. And he eventually cut a lot of that weight and became a shifty, quicker running back. What did him, and this is a biased take, is he sat out an entire season in a contract dispute and lost an entire year and was never the same after that. Left. I think he went to the Jets and they didn't know how to use him or didn't get enough production out of him. So, at the end of the day, as much as I hate to say it, because he was a great Steeler when he was there and when he wanted to produce, but Le'Veon Bell was his own undoing. So,
well, Monty Ball only lasted 2 years with Denver, and then that was it.
Yeah. So, Rex Burkhead probably had a longer career than most, but if you're not the guy being called on 30 times or more a game, then I guess you'll have some of that longevity.
What's really interesting is when he announced his retirement, right, just a few days ago, and then you wanted to do kind of a tribute to him, I started looking up all these things about Rex Burkhead, and because it was right before I became a fan is when he played at Nebraska. And I thought it was really interesting. Everybody that had something to say about him basically called him, and somebody in the comments said it, that he was like a bring your lunch to work type of guy, like lunch very pail. Serious, and so that type of person, I'm actually not surprised that he lasted 10 years in the NFL. I mean, it's his career. He's very serious about it.
Benny just runs over me casually.
That too. That kind of helped.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So obviously, we look at some of Rex's accolades. He was first team All Big Ten in 2011. When you look at the numbers, yeah, that makes sense. Again, 284 yards, 284 attempts or carries, 1,300 yards, 15 touchdowns. That was a good year for Rex. Drafted by the Bengals in the 6th round in 2013 and was there for 13, 14, 15, and 16. Was maybe traded to the New England Patriots and was there for a few years. Appeared in 2 Super Bowls. Here's the thing. There's only 1 year that I could honest to God cheer for Rex Burkhead as an NFL player because you can't cheer for the New England Patriots. I'm sorry, you just can't. It's very difficult to do unless you're a Patriots fan. Kind of like being a Chiefs fan now. Like you're just kind of tired of them. Move on. Let's somebody else have a turn. And then I couldn't root for him as a Bengal. Individual success, yes. Team, no. Same with Cam Taylor-Britt because that's a AFC North Division foe. And what I like about the NFL is they have that Big Ten mentality, which is we never will support, even if we're done playing, even if it's playoffs or something like that, we'll never support a division rival. It's that hatred that the SEC doesn't have. So,
but we have it in spades.
We have hatred for our absolutely. So when he was with the Texans,
anyone in our conference?
No, there are just, in my opinion.
Yes, we do.
No,
we like them when they're playing Iowa.
That's so true, John.
That is situational at best, sir.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I think we have just levels of hatred. You know, like we hate Rutgers or Maryland less than we hate Wisconsin or Iowa, but we still hate them because they're in the conference. So,
you know who I really hate irrationally? Brad Underwood.
Yeah,
I have not figured this out. Why? Maybe it was that Cockburn kid that played. I just hate Illinois basketball. I really discovered that when I turn on and it's Illinois, I'm like, fuck. You know what I mean? I have no idea why that is.
How many technical fouls does he get per season? That's
Not
what
enough.
I want to know. He's a hothead.
We're gonna find out.
I mean, Hoiberg is like very reserved.
He is.
I love that about him.
You can see him say some bad words sometime. I have come to the conclusion I don't trust any coach that doesn't say bad words. I don't give a shit who they are.
Well, I don't know if have we ever heard Matt Rhule swear?
Well, you've seen him on TV. You're not going to hear him. He's a son of a pastor. He knows how to handle public speaking, for God's sakes.
Sure.
And he knows that we treat our
here's
football
another
team
thing
like
I
religion.
want to throw out there.
So, yeah.
Here's another thing, since we're talking about this. Have you ever heard anyone say they don't like Matt Rhule?
Panthers fans.
Yeah. Oh, they were really.
But are there really any Panthers fans?
Wow.
Just saying.
Man, when you come in with the shots, you come in just Why use the 12 gauge when a bazooka will do?
Josh says, and this is a series of comments, basically calling me ignorant idiot. Josh says Rhule says shit a lot in videos in the locker room. James says Rhule swears. Fred says Rhule is cursing some of the behind the scenes vids.
True.
So, and TFT says, speaking about not liking Matt Rhule, I don't like that Matt Rhule is going to let Marcus Satterfield call the plays.
Well, you know what? We will have a different offense this year, and we'll have hopefully serviceable quarterbacks, and we'll see how the offense looks with a year into it, and with quarterbacks that don't consistently throw the ball to the other team.
Heinrich Harburg.
It's going to be a totally different offense.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. We couldn't call the plays that we wanted to because we didn't have the players. So,
I'm curious.
What's so funny, John?
The comments. You never
Is
look
it-
at the comments.
Is it the one I'm about to highlight out of curiosity?
Probably.
Highlander gun. I'm confused. What is mini packing?
Yeah.
Oh, Charlie's Angel style there. That's nice.
I have no idea.
Scott says I'm late. So how many beers has Greg consumed? I'm on my second. Thank you. I like that people are concerned about my alcohol intake. I don't have a problem. Okay, I drink twice a week. I drink when I do this show, and I drink once on the weekend. All right, that's It's just the fact that I'm.
I think they gauge how the show's going based on how many beers you've had.
I only
I don't know
drink
if that's
2
good or
days a
bad.
week there for a while, today and tomorrow. There you go.
That's all I've had to drink. That's it.
So is your nickname going to be 2 Beer Greg from now on?
No, because I can drink way more than that.
Okay. And we know it.
It's just 2 beers that I brought with me from the garage, Greg.
God damn. What the hell, Sacco? What is this shit? Red Sacco says I'd drink if I had to do a show with John too. I've driven many people to drink over my lifetime.
I guess the similar question is, if I'm 2 Beer Greg, how many gummies is John up to now?
I take a tiny quarter of these things if I use them at all. So it's getting stoned on marijuana is just not an enjoyable thing for me.
How many times have you done in your life, John?
I have no idea. I mean, maybe once in the last 5 years, and it might. The problem with part of this is I talk too much about my problems. I have tinnitus. I took a full gummy one time when we were up at the north in a lake, and I just was like, God, dear God, when is this going to be over? That's what it was like. It was just not pleasant. I don't like it. But it does, like I said, it does help with the headache pain. So my tinnitus went through the roof. I lived in my own world of ringing. It was great.
Josh wants to know if we would immortalize Fred on a shirt with the quote, "What the hell, Sacco?"
If he sends us a picture, okay. If he sends us a picture that we can make a caricature of.
Caricature.
All right, so
is that what it is?
Yes.
So we got Bone-Led Corn-Fed says Coronation brand weed, so we add that to that.
I'm going to start working on
you have
that.
rope.
And the skincare.
Hey,
and
you know what? Aaron Keene says words are hard. You know what? Apparently, Pipeline Jerky cut out a piece of a YouTube video I did about their product, and they've been showing it as I explained their NIL program and on Twitter, and people are making fun of me for saying NIL instead of NIL. I don't know if they're making fun of me, but they're like, why does he say NIL instead of NIL? And it's like, what the hell? Because language is hard. Words are hard. I lol at things, okay? Some people LOL at them. I lol at them.
I like this one by Fred. Put the wrong emphasis on the incorrect syllable. That'll mess you up. That'll mess you up, John.
I have a history video that has 66,000 views, and it's about Notre Dame, and that's the problem.
It's about Notre Dame and not
Notre
Notre
Dame. I have gotten so many comments from domers. Why is he saying Notre Dame? And I'm like,
I think it's kind of for me because we're down here in the South, and there's not very often that I hear people talk like you Minnesotans.
First of all, Arizona's not the South; it's the Southwest.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I mean.
We have to be doing this kind of.
Was that necessary?
Yes.
I'm not. We don't have a twang down here, but we definitely get a kick out of Minnesotans.
Well, John's a Nebraskan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think he's kind of. I do it whenever I visit other areas. I definitely like one day in, and I'm talking like them.
That's true. When I go back to Dallas, I'm fixing to reckon and reckon to fixing, and there you go. You know what I mean?
Terrell Farley's Taint says Arizona is Diet California.
Disgusting.
And Aaron says, all right, history lesson. Technically, Arizona is the South. They even seceded and joined the Confederacy.
I did not know that. Did they?
I don't know.
Were they even a
don't know if
state?
We're very
I
proud
don't
of
think they were
that,
a
though.
state. Okay.
All right. So Rex Burkhead.
Yes, Rex. Sexy
terrific guy. By the way, through his help as well as the help of countless others. I'm not giving him all the credit. Just he's definitely elevated the spotlight. Team Jack has raised, if I'm reading this right, I don't know that I am, over $8 million.
That's probably about right. Yeah.
Well, I was under the assumption that if it's MM, that's supposed to be billion, but I don't know.
No. That's got to be a typo.
Not on Google. Would Google typo?
Google, yes.
Okay. So anyway, if you want more information about Team Jack, teamjackfoundation.org. If I were more prepared, if my laptop was cooperating in any way for the last half hour before we started rolling this show, I'd have a little banner scrolling across, said teamjackfoundation.org. I don't have one of those. The only banner that I have, thank you very much, Tiger Shark Diver. The only banner that I have is merch at cobbycorn.com.
Yeah, go buy some merch, you sons of bitches.
And John, you weren't here.
John,
go ahead, Minnie. I'm sorry.
What would be okay? I should have waited till after the show. We need a calendar.
A calendar?
We need a coordination calendar. I love calendars. I need a calendar.
Very scared how this is going to go over in the comments.
I'm afraid of where you're going with this. What kind of calendar do we need, Minnie?
Okay. Just everything kind of revolves around the football. No, just kidding. But it could involve all Husker sports.
It could.
Well, yeah. I think here's where I'm gonna. Here's where I think you're gonna run into problems. As skilled as a photographer as John is, I don't know how much of that. I don't know if he could go selling a calendar of like the sports that images that he's taken. I don't know if that.
I would take the caricatures that are on the t-shirts and make that the calendar, but more importantly, put the days of them, when you'd have to kind of know
when the events are going to be.
Yeah. I think that would be really great.
I'm of the mind of everybody in the Chatterfields when you said we need a calendar, because here's what they're saying in Josh says badonk calendar. Aaron says a caboose calendar. Did we settle that already? Josh says 12 Faces of Dylan calendar.
I like that one. That might be a copywriter.
Phil says 12 months of Sacco.
Oh, God.
Aaron says, I'm waiting for Fred. We'll get there. We'll get there. TFT says John and various banana hammocks calendar.
Yeah. Okay.
Which I can't wait to talk to you about the polar plunge and how you didn't even need the banana hammock.
On the outside of the cover, John could be standing there in his robe with his hand in his shirt and his fuzzy hat on.
It's there. John selling an X-rated calendar in his robe.
I don't think that's going to sell well. I don't think that's
amongst all of us, it would. I'd put that on my fridge.
Fred says calendar. John in robes. Todd's caboose a day calendar. Greg's Yingling intake calendar. Aaron wants to know if you're going to co-sign his volunteering as Mr. May.
That's a good idea. Maybe it's all the coordination writers.
So going to go so sideways in so many ways.
We should probably move on to another subject.
Josh says most important reoccurring date on that calendar, the yearly watching of Young Guns. Highlander Gun says the John calendar with John is Young Guns, John is Terminator, John is Gandalf.
Poor John.
And Fred says the only thing John wears under his robe is his shoes.
Poor John.
So, I don't know if the calendar would be the way that I go if we were trying to drum up money. I don't know if we'd be able to give them away. And we have
I need a
very
calendar.
loyal.
We do have a very loyal group of people here.
All right. I guess the 2025, be looking for it. Coordination calendars, I guess. Put it right up there with the hair. Honestly, it wouldn't take that much because there are companies that make calendars for any freaking reason.
No, it wouldn't.
I don't think it'd take that much effort. Be like, hey, can you slap these pictures on the calendar? You can include, if the schedule is out by then, you can include various, Husker athletic schedules. Yeah, Melissa's got it.
Greg's on board.
John's King of the Throne. That'd probably be January. Like I could just imagine like John sitting there like Game of Thrones.
God.
The Game of Thrones
Were we
style.
supposed to move on?
We were, but I've got an idea now. It's John sitting. Anybody here who's watched Game of Thrones? John, did you watch Game of Thrones?
No.
Minnie?
No.
Okay, but are you familiar enough with Game of Thrones to know what the throne looks like?
Yes.
It's a big throne with swords all over it.
Esther.
So what we
She needs
have,
some jerky.
John's throne is a porcelain throne, and instead of swords, it's plungers sticking out in every angle. It's King of the... Anyway, I really thought... Esther came in and ruined my whole episode.
She did.
Took
She
all the
wants some
attention.
jerky.
Okay, I'll be back. Good grief.
Josh
I keep
says,
thinking somebody else is going to help me with this, and they don't.
Josh, I like this idea. Landscape pictures of everywhere. John has done a post-game rant. Although,
Usually it's in his bathroom.
and I don't know if he'd be allowed on the field back at the stadium, the Gopher Stadium there. So, all right. So, Tiger Shark Diver, or TSD, which is different from TFT. What kind of dog is that? I believe she's a golden lab. I don't remember. It's been a year and a half since
She's
met
a
her.
golden something.
Yeah, golden something. John would be able to tell.
Not
us when
a
he comes
doodle.
back.
I think.
No, there's no doodling there. That sounded weird. Let's see. Phil likes my throne idea.
Corn throne.
Josh says that Esther wants to go outside and eat the burglar, which I misread because I thought somebody said earlier something about burger. I'm like, that sounds better. I can hear John. This is riveting entertainment. Now we're listening to John deal with the dog.
He does this to us.
All right.
Sorry.
John. No,
she is she is a lab and
Right.
German Shepherd.
Oh,
So she actually has white German Shepherd in her background. So a guy that was raising and selling purebred German Shepherds, got impregnated by the wrong dog, and we got to Esther because they went, that one's weird. Here, you take it, and we went, hey, the weird dog fits our family.
That's true.
She's huge. She's strong. When she barks, it like pierces everything for miles. She's fiercely loyal, and she's, the lab part in her. She's got a really good disposition. So she's happy to meet everybody. Sometimes way too happy. So now I have to go see if she's ready to come in.
Brangus McGee says that John, your hair makes Fabio jealous.
it's his Corn Nation hair products for men.
That's right. Or women. Who cares as long as it's sold?
We are a unisex show. We have
That's
established
right.
that.
TFT says white German Shepherd. Don't ask what her grandparents were doing in the 40s. Jeez. And Josh makes a similar reference. Says, "Oh, sure, a German dog has to get a white lab." Am I right?
It was kind of, the thing is when Esther was really tiny is when I was, I was freshly dead. So I don't remember like a lot of her first year or anything. So, but she's been a good addition to our family. Like any dog, she can be.
And to Coronation.
Well, she can be, overbearing, and because she's so huge, she can be difficult to deal with sometimes. But overall, I mean, that's dogs. If you're going to get a dog, it should be. My argument with my family was, we're going to get a dog after all these years. My wife decided we're getting a dog, and who the hell am I going to argue with? And I said, okay, but we're not getting a small dog because small dogs are just rats.
I think Minnie's reacting because maybe Minnie has a small dog.
Do you?
Yeah. I have a little dog. She's only 11 pounds. 13 years old.
Does she get lost in the house? Like, did she get stuck under furniture?
She is so sweet. Best dog ever.
Fred says, because she's so huge, she can be hard to deal with at times. Anyone on a day with an Iowa cheerleader. That's good.
Okay.
Right. We got some starred comments going all the way back to 903. John,
all right.
Are you ready for this one? Great one from James Boardman. I think he summed up Rex Burkhead, at least on the field, Rex Burkhead, very succinctly when he says that Rex made everyone around him look better.
I think that's true. He always gained yardage. I mean, no matter what, he just would get 3 yards when there was nothing there.
Yes. Aaron says, now Minnie's offended. Great job, John.
I love all dogs. It doesn't matter the size. So just let's not discriminate, okay? Let's include all dogs.
Do we have to?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, what?
What you highlighted there.
Yeah, I know. I'm in the process very rapidly because I forgot of saving the images.
Well, you have to read the comment.
Well,
This
somebody
is fantastic.
Tab.
Well, because Melissa has a tattoo. She sent
Melissa
it
Gitchell
in.
says, "Hey, Minnie, what about Nebraska tattoos?"
Yeah, she emailed Coronation her tattoo.
Oh, I didn't know that was her.
That was her.
Well,
Those
when
are
we put
pretty-
it up there, she'll have to identify it. That's fine. I know which one it's not. And I don't mean that in a filthy way.
I have no tattoos. I've never believed in tattoos because all I believe is that they make you more identifiable in a police lineup. And,
Why would you worry about that, John?
Everybody should worry about those kinds of things because you never know when, just a crime of passion is just going to occur. If you went out there and asked 100 murderers, did you think you'd ever murder somebody? I bet 98 of them would go, no, just kind of, whatever.
Okay. I don't think about things like that.
Okay. Think about movies, some guy attacks another guy and he, they pull his shirt up and did you see anything? No, it was dark, but he had this snake tattoo. And then they go check the thing and they go, well, that snake was from some 15th century Romanian cult. And then they track him down. There you go. All because they had a tattoo.
Okay.
John, let's be honest.
Do not have that's just I'm gonna go get my dog and just pray for you while I'm doing it.
All right, well, let's take a look at some of these.
Esther across his chest.
Or across his torso right here,
in old English letters.
That's right. All right, let's take a look at some of these tattoos. Again, this is the one I know for sure with 100% certainty is not Melissa. This is the only one I know for certainty is not Melissa. but there's a certain amount of dedication to get that tattooed on the back of your head.
That's so. That looks really painful, but dedicated for sure.
I think that. Look, was this submitted?
No.
This was Google searched?
Yes.
Okay. Part of me thinks that this is Photoshop.
No.
No, okay, because it's from the internet, so of course it's legit.
It's the real deal.
People get tattoos everywhere.
Okay. That just seems all right. We have your basic Nebraska not for everyone tattoos.
Matching tattoos.
And we have your advanced Nebraska, the Good Life tattoo.
I love this one.
That's all the counties.
You're right. That is in fact all of them. And we have the side, ribbon side, not the victory, but the I can't remember. Thank you. Not the goal, but the
deed.
No,
I don't know what it is.
Not the goal, but the.
Well, it's from the pillars.
It's from
the deed. Yes.
All right.
In the deed, the glory.
You know, and I really thought about this because that particular tattoo inspired me. I'm not a tattoo type person.
Not yet.
That's the police lineup thing, isn't it?
No. But if I did get a tattoo, how cool would 1% better be? And then I thought, no, well, because that's what they do. One better. Who? Hands in. One better. Okay. 1% better.
Right.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be really great. That would be really great. But then I remembered what Deion Sanders did last year.
He got a tattoo.
No, because Matt Rhule came up with this. Okay, we just need to strive to get 1% better every day, and you will get there eventually. Deion went on ESPN and said, we strive to get 2% better every day.
No.
You
said you remember what that what Deion did last year, and Josh says lost his toes. TFT says face tattoo or nothing, and then says if we die, we die on your forehead, Minnie.
That'd be
That's a good one.
Here we go. Thank you. Jay Blutarski comes through.
The action.
Not the goal, but the game. In the deed,
the glory.
The glory. Like, you're not going to let me say it dramatic at all? Like, I did this professionally for a living for over a decade to build drama and suspense.
Okay.
I'm just going to move on.
The moment has passed. You didn't read the rest of that.
No.
Even Danny Werfel could remember that. He said it when he interviewed on the field after the Fiesta Bowl.
Okay. Other comments from earlier in the show.
Yeah.
Josh says, what was that the deal at the Supernova game where they had girls out with the players during starting lineups? Oh, we were talking about yesterday being National Girls and Women in Sports Day. Or Women and Girls, whatever it was.
Okay. So, is anybody covering the Supernova?
For coordination?
Is the
no.
Paper? Is the Omaha paper?
Don't know. Don't live there.
We need to find somebody that'll cover that.
I honestly don't think so. I haven't seen anything.
Yeah. Is this a hole that we can fill?
Yeah.
Yeah. A hole in
Fred. I'm gonna stop you right now, Fred. Don't. Just don't.
Okay.
Low hanging fruit. And John wants to get the show done by 10:30, so we have 6 minutes. Fred does say that you're stepping all over Greg, like I'm saying nice things about you. So. TFT volunteers to cover the Supernova.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. Aaron says, wait, John plays Overwatch.
I do.
What's Overwatch? I don't even know.
Yeah, it's a video game where you.
Well, I figure that much.
I'm not going to describe it.
Okay. Well, moving on then.
Well, here's what happens.
Nope. Don't. You said you're not going to describe it, and I've moved on.
Okay.
Is Nash Hutmacher still wrestling?
Well, not right now, but
Because it's
yes.
football. Okay.
Rhule did
Yes,
mention
it is.
that in his press conference yesterday.
Did he?
He
What did he
said-
say?
He said that, I love this. He said, we actually do have athletes playing in multiple sports. When I go recruit, he goes, that's one of the things that I can show them. Look, right now, guys, we have 3 players in track and field.
Well, that's good. They do other things. I think that I don't know. You get up
encourages
with
it.
experience. You get other coaches teaching you things. I think you use different parts of your body, probably track and field. Are they sprinters, I assume?
Yeah, I'm
I
sure
think
they're
so.
runners.
Yeah. What else? You know what? We didn't talk about Matt Rhule's press conference. What else happened, Minnie? Because you pay attention to that.
Well, unfortunately, I hate it when they get off topic. We do that a lot, but
Yeah.
we can't.
But we're not paid.
Yeah. Sam McEwen kept asking questions about the Super Bowl. Don't you think that's kind of weird? For National Signing Day,
Given
our first
the
press
fact,
conference in I don't know how long.
Yes. Yeah, I do think it's kind of
He
weird.
asked 2 questions about the Super Bowl.
And then I think Matt Rhule said he wanted to sign Brock Purdy, and he was told no.
Something. Yes, that was it. Yep.
See, that's what they're looking for, is something that'll fit into the search engines or something, I guess. I don't know. I think that's
they
kind
wanted
of
to
weird
draft him when
given
he was
Oh,
at
okay.
Carolina.
Yeah.
Well, I loved it. I got all tingly. It was so great.
This press
You
conference.
should know better, Minnie.
What?
You should know better.
It's exciting.
What did he
Guys.
say about the offensive coordinators?
Ooh.
Yeah,
He called it out. He's like, you guys, I said to you, and I'm not gonna make things up. When I say something, I mean it. He goes, I told you Marcus Satterfield is my offensive coordinator. And everyone's like, okay. Because, oh yeah, Sip. Simple. He goes, so what's the deal? How's this gonna work? Who's gonna be calling the plays? He's like, I'm telling you right now, I already told you this before. And oh yeah, he did tell us that. I forgot. And everybody else in Husker Nation forgot. But he's basically saying that, Glenn is going to be helping develop he's going to be developing the coordinators or the quarterbacks, and he's also going to be coming up with plays. So helping come up with plays. So
I think that's a good idea. You think about the job of those guys. They got to watch film, and they probably watch the same film over and over and over and over and over. And whenever you're involved, listen, I do video editing. I've written books. Whenever you go over the same thing over and over and over, you just miss stuff. That's why you should never edit your own book. You should, review videos and stuff before you publish them, if they're going to be like long videos and things like that. I think that's an excellent idea, to have somebody that's working with the offensive coordinator to kind of go, hey,
Yeah.
how about this? How about this guy that can't, he doesn't move laterally back when we could move him into position and outwit him with Carter Nelson or Thomas Fedoni, that kind of thing,
love it.
There you go.
I like Aaron's comment here. A dramatic reenactment of the press conference by the Mini Dinner Theater Ensemble.
All right.
I am a huge Matt Rhule fan. Yes, I do practice him often. His inspirational speeches, I have down packed.
Do you really?
I love him. I love him.
Is it like a
God?
Minnie, have you seen the movie Rudy?
Yeah.
So is it like that?
Me.
Like,
I'm Rudy.
do you get up on a little bench and be like, we're not going to stop until we get across that goal line? That's awesome.
We are getting, I'm going to talk to you about doing some different reaction videos to Matt Rhule's talking them. We're going to see what happens here.
All right, some other comments here. Joel actually asked this an hour ago. Thank you, Joel. We hope you're still around. Joel Tilson says, new sports streaming channel coming this fall includes Fox, ESPN, TBS, and TNT.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I think that's an interesting experiment that, yeah, I mean, for a long time, remember back when everybody had cable and everybody bitched about cable and they were like, if I was not a sports guy and I had to pay for cable, I don't want to pay for ESPN as part of my cable. Well, This is pulling that out. It's going to be just sports specific. And I don't think the broadcasters are very much in favor of this. And the reason why they're not in favor with it is because it's fucking with their current contracts. I'm not a TV exec. This is just occurring to me off the top of my head. Let's say you're a CBS and you're a broadcast thing and you're selling ads. You're obviously going to get a higher ad value, I think, during sports. I think. I don't know these numbers or anything like that. I should probably just stop this now. But you know what I mean? Compared to ad,
I'm following you.
Comparing like ad revenue on watching, let's say, a game between USC and Nebraska versus ad revenue on The Masked Singer, which I don't probably think is that big. I imagine, I don't know how many people watch that kind of stuff. But, if you have a full sports channel, it's got to be screwing with what metrics you have if you're CBS or if you're, come on, who's the other, ABC, those companies that are not part of this. And I imagine they don't like that much. I need to go. I need to go sit in my bathroom for a while and contemplate the implications of this.
I think you're right. I mean, everybody wants a piece of the pie, right?
Yeah. I think I've said this before. I think sports is just going to become more valuable. Mm-hmm. Everybody keeps talking about artificial intelligence taking over and doing all this stuff and all that stuff. And I think when you have genuine, authentic things that are, which AI is not, it becomes more valuable, and that will be sports because it's never scripted. Nobody knows except the NFL. We know that's all part of the script. This Super Bowl is just part of the script. Bastards. But college sports so far isn't.
So
that's why we love it.
After a week of multi-platform viewing, the season 10 premiere of The Masked Singer drew an audience of 5.8 million viewers.
That's pretty good. I guess there's a reason why it's on TV.
Yeah.
I think that's because there's nothing else on TV.
There's so much content that's on the streaming that I could see that argument for sure.
Well, if you're not paying for streaming, excuse me.
I agree with Josh. Josh says sports is the only thing left you need to watch live.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see. Also, Josh says, don't get me started on Rudy. Look, I make no secret. It's my favorite movie of all time. I'm not going to apologize for that.
Okay. We have to take Scott Schrader says, I'm not convinced Satterfield is the best choice for offensive coordinator.
Why are you bringing up actual,
what
good questions and conversation? I'm just kidding. You're fine.
Terrell Farley's paint. That just didn't go well there. TFT says, I'm convinced Satterfield is the worst offensive coordinator in Power 5.
Well,
come on, man.
At least
Iowa has hired some guy, and he's going to suck much worse than Satterfield.
At least now, also, there's nowhere to go but up. If he's the worst, seriously.
Yeah.
So there's hope.
This is why Minnie's here. Our shot of positivity. Let's see here. Roger Moore said at 9:34, NU will beat Colorado next year, and then Prime and Sons will leave.
I don't disagree with that.
I think it's the shelf life there is running. I think that's going to get stale for both parties very quickly.
So. I would rank that game as the most important game. However, because I hate Colorado, but we play Ohio State, and that is, to me, the most important game that we win.
Let me tell you the most important game for me. The first one. And then after that, the next one. One at a time. Don't do that, John. That's sincere right there. Because you can't look ahead. You know that they're doing...
Game? Greg, what's the first game?
You did have to ask me that question, didn't you?
What? When is it?
She asked me the first game on the schedule.
No clicking. No. I know you, cheater.
Me?
It's not against a Big Ten road opponent.
No, it's gosh dang it.
Southeast
University
Louisiana
of
State.
Texas, El Paso.
UTEP.
I thought UTEP was second. Is UTEP first?
First.
All right, my bad. Sorry, gosh dang, everybody jumping on me in the comments and yelling at me.
I mean, yeah, of course, we got to win that. But
moving on, I'm going to keep my mouth shut from now on. All right, 2 things. Aaron Rostovsky says, "How many beers can Greg drink during Young Guns?"
17.
Give me a shot. Which brings us to this. It's the weekly question, and it keeps it fresh in our minds. Not that we'll ever forget. But Highlander Gun wants to know, when is movie night?
we're going to put it on the calendar.
Oh, my God.
We think we have a solution. Now, that being said, huh?
We do? Okay.
Didn't you and I spend 5 minutes on here 2 nights ago?
I was very tired when we talked about that.
I just think you don't like me. You just forget about me all the time. So we believe that we have a solution. Look, it's going to be on YouTube, we hope, but it's not going to be monetized. Like, we're not going to, obviously, we're not here to make a buck off of it. We're here to just have some fun with you, Chatterfields. So the only thing we have to do, John, is we got to set a date.
Okay.
And I tried setting a date a couple nights ago, and you said, dog, or whatever the hell you said.
That's exactly what I said.
Probably. Let's see. Yeah. Scott Schrader says, John dragging his feet about movie night.
Okay. Friday or Saturday is what we said.
A Friday or Saturday, not this
Friday or Saturday after the Super Bowl.
After the Super Bowl. So
after the Super Bowl.
Basically any Friday or Saturday after this weekend, because the Super Bowl's coming up. That's like saying Friday or Saturday after Ash Wednesday. Like, it's, it's all next week. So Fred says there have been more false starts about us watching Young Guns than Husker offense.
It's true.
Aaron says that in reply to Scott that John, your wife is a lucky woman and a saint.
She is a lucky. She's my wife. There you go. Okay.
And TFT says we should watch it instead of the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Kind of true.
Wow. Okay. So what? A Friday or Saturday night?
Yep. That's what we've determined. We're still back to that.
Okay.
Do we want to do
the 23rd?
That is out. Well, we could do it. We'd have to do it. That's my twin's birthday.
Aww.
But they go to bed at 7:30, so we could do regular 9 o'clock.
No. We're not doing it on your.
You can't stay up late.
They'll be asleep, John.
It doesn't matter. You have a wife. You have to clear those things.
She'll be asleep.
I raised 3 kids. Just okay.
Okay. What about March 1st?
What the hell?
Also, February 23rd, 4th, and 25th. The baseball team is going to be here playing against GCU.
So maybe we should just go ahead and do it the 16th and get it done.
Okay.
I'll check with my boss.
Vince says every February 29th is Coronation Movie Night.
Is there a February 29th?
Yeah, it's.
Oh my God, there is.
But we want to have movie nights more frequently than that.
Okay.
So we looked at all options. Like, we looked at, what if we did an Amazon Prime Video watch party? But that will require everybody to have Prime and everybody to rent the movie. And that's, we're not going to ask anybody to. I mean, look, the whole reason we're doing this is because of the Team Jack donations that we started in the first place. So
how do you go about doing it then? Do we all?
We're just gonna go
download the movie somewhere, or
no? So we will stream it on this platform in the background.
Do you think
John's comments will be what? Like
I'll just be yelling.
piped in.
So real quick, I'm gonna try. I don't know if this
Have
will
you
work.
ever seen Mystery Science Theater 3000?
No.
Oh my God. How can you live? How can you be alive? You will, after this show, you will look up Mystery Science Theater 3000
Okay. Homework.
because something is missing out of your life.
So I'm gonna try something, and I apologize. Here's the thing: if this kicks us off of YouTube, then we're gonna have to be back to square one. But I'm going to try. This is just the trailer. This is not the movie.
Okay. Nudity, smoking, foul language, alcohol use.
You're out
Sounds
on
the
YouTube.
best movie ever.
If you're on YouTube, are we still on? Can you hear everything? This is really what I'm all about.
One of them over 21. It's 100 against 5.
Can you commenters hear the movie?
Can you hear the movie, John?
Yeah.
Something.
Okay.
Wildest bunch
Yeah.
ever seen.
All right. Scott says we're so far so good.
Emilio Estevez,
Emilio Estevez.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I am going
Okay,
to
this is
stop
really
this.
good. This is such a good lead up to this movie.
I'm going to stop this because
That's
we don't
good,
want it to interfere with
Very good, Craig.
our monetization for the show. May need to adjust trailer audio. I don't know how the hell to do that. So you're quiet, Aaron. Shut up. No. I apologize. So anyway, that's the plan. And we'll do that next Friday night. Mark your calendars, February 16th. We're all going back to the Old West, baby, and it's going to be a good time.
We'll verify it with my boss, and then we'll move ahead.
Yeah. I guess you'll confirm that with us either Monday night or Thursday night.
Yeah.
Quick question. I don't know why I pointed like this. That felt weird. Nebraska men's basketball, do they play next Thursday, John?
What do you want from me?
I just want knowledge.
No,
they don't. They play on Saturday and Saturday, so we're good.
Oh
we don't have any scheduled conflicts.
Turn the volume up too loud.
Oh my gosh, John, are you drunk?
No, I'm kind of, I'm fading. I'm fading. Remember when I said we should keep this to an hour and a half?
We're a little over.
It's John's fault. All right, real quick here at the end of the show.
Yes.
Let us get your Super Bowl prediction scores into the comments, and we will read them as we can. Fred says this a few minutes ago, said San Francisco 27, Kansas City 21, 0 minutes watched by me because the NFL bores me to tears. I'll be watching WKRP and dreaming of Corn Nation.
Wow. Okay.
So that's
Minnie, what's your prediction?
I mean, I'm 100% in the camp where I don't watch the NFL, guys. I mean, I pay attention to what the Husker are doing, but that's it. That is it. And my daughter tells me what Taylor Swift is up to because she's in the NFL too.
Well, that's
I did see a rendering of Taylor Swift on the cover of the next Madden video game, and I thought that's going to make a million Swifties sad when she blows out her quad or something, and misses has to take a year off. TFT says Brock Purdy 69, Mahomo 0. So for context, our friends at the Big Red Cobcast, may they rest in peace, would always do game predictions for Husker games, and you had Joe and you had Pat who would give honest to God predictions, and Tweety every week, regardless of the competition, would be Nebraska 69-3.
Yeah.
So TFT, who came to us for the short stint that Tweety was here on the show and has stuck with us, and we appreciate that. We also apologize. Is bringing some of that back. So a nice homage to Ralph Farley's taint. Highlander Gun says 49ers 31, Chiefs 17. Josh says, my prediction for Super Bowl is I won't watch and I won't feel like I missed anything. F the NFL.
Wow.
I like important. Che
Blutarski.
Blutarski. Prediction: Brock Purdy wins more Super Bowls than Chubba Purdy.
Really? That's a good prediction.
Salty. James Boardman says, I predict I'll be watching something else. Aaron says Liverpool 4, Burnley 0, if you like that Premier League football. And Josh says Brock will do it and make less than a year than Dylan already does. That's this NIL thing might be getting carried away. Fred says Josh and me, let's use proper grammar, Josh and I are on the same page like a modern day John and Todd. Could you imagine like Tuesday night therapy with Josh and Fred?
Maybe we should make it happen.
Oh,
yeah.
And then we can type comments and distract them the whole time.
I don't know if they're ready for that. I don't know if the world is ready for that.
I'm gonna watch the Super Bowl. Yeah, I mean it's an American institution.
I'll watch
there's the
it.
Commercials and there's Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce and the Mahomes and Maato and then people talk about it and then we all complain about it. And my son's going to make steak chili, which I'm looking forward to. He's a good cook. And then I get to say things
is that
like,
Rotten Son or is that not Rotten
No, this
Son?
is the oldest son.
Okay, just checking.
I like yelling things at it. Like, this was much better when I was younger. I don't know. It's football.
Fred says that Fred was an English major. And I can talk however I want. No, you can't. You'll do it the right way. Or you remember what happened when I put Josh in timeout, okay? No, don't make me do that to you. Scott says, I'm surprised Minnie doesn't tune in for the halftime show of the Super Bowl. I don't remember who the halftime show is.
Who is it?
It'll be there.
Who's in the halftime show?
I forgot who.
Yeah. That's
Taylor Swift. It won't matter. Whoever's performing, they'll just keep throwing Taylor Swift's reacting to it.
Oh, it's her friend. Isn't it?
Does she have friends?
Usher. It's Usher.
Usher?
Is it Usher?
Oh, wait a minute. Is that last year?
Lil Jon.
Lizzo. Oh, I love Lizzo. Is it really?
I don't know who that is.
You know what? Why the hell can't they ever just stop being so fucking serious and have Weird Al do the halftime show?
Dude.
The guy has everybody. When you think of a song like, another one rides the bus, you think of that before you think of the actual song and what it came from.
Just eat it, eat it, eat it.
Yeah. Living in an Amish paradise. Come on.
That's great. The saga begins for all you Star Wars fans. Back to actual predictions. Aaron says Niners 28, Chiefs 16. Bet the under. I'm a tyrant, allegedly. That's what TFT says. Thank you for that.
You know what? He is. He's behind the scenes. I weep all the time from Greg screaming at me.
That can't be true. Fred says that Dylan is dancing at the halftime show. Minnie will be part of the stage crew.
If they had the Polynesian people come, the Polynesian people come, and that would be cool.
That would be great.
That'll be awesome. Vince Watson, maybe a little too soon, says it's not Toby, meaning Toby Keith, who passed away earlier this week.
You know who else passed away? Mojo Nixon.
I did hear that. I don't know who that is.
Yeah. Elvis is everywhere. Elvis is everything.
Okay.
I think he also did a song called I Am Having Debbie Gibson's Double-Headed Stepchild or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
Mojo Nixon was just a lot. He was a lot of fun. Look up the song Elvis is Everywhere. Elvis is Everywhere, Mojo Nixon, and broaden your horizons, just like Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah. Did you ever listen to Debbie Gibson?
Yeah.
I doubt it. Did you?
Yeah. Well, you had to. I mean, she was so huge, she was just shoved down your ears.
Let's see. Che Blutarski says Taylor Swift is the Antichrist. That's a hot take. Aaron says Google Lizzo and banana, and no, I will not do that. Let's see. Josh says, as the most oppressed Chatterfield in history, I can confirm Greg's a tyrant, and this aggression will not stand. I mean, all I can say is you keep coming back. So, and I know you will too, Josh, because you're a great guy and a great Husker fan and a friend. You know,
I didn't say Debbie Gibson was good, by the way. I just said I listened to her. So
if you don't have Mojo Nixon, then your store could use some fixing. It was a Dead Milkman song. Do you know who the Dead Milkmen were?
No, but is
God,
that
how do you people live?
Did they tour with the Circle Jerks?
No, I think they were more advanced. In
that was a good one, Greg.
Their singership, the Dead Milkmen. Punk
All
rock
right,
girl. Look up Elvis is Everywhere. Punk rock girl.
I assure you, I probably will not.
Minnie will, because she's going to get quizzed on this.
Okay,
I'm not worried about
Toby
you.
Keith was actually a real musician.
What?
He also died. That's what we were talking about.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
that.
She basically just said that Mojo Nixon's not a real musician.
He was too. Gosh.
All right.
Okay, we should go.
Yeah, John says we're 21 minutes past my bedtime and curfew. So that is it for this episode of the 5 Heart Podcast. Are you excited? You get not one but 2 doses of the 5 Heart crew next week, because we'll still do our regular show. And as long as it's okay with John's boss, his wife, then we'll do the Young Guns and finally get Highlander Gun off our case about that. No, we joke. We just, it's great. We're going to look forward to it, assuming that YouTube doesn't kick us off after 5 minutes. So that is it. Again, a tremendous thank you and gratitude and appreciation for these great people that I get to sit up here and talk with every week. Minnie Hunt, who the newest member to our crew, but quite honestly, the organization behind it all. And the reason any of us are here, John Dam Johnston, our founder, our fearless leader. And for all of you, either watching and interacting with us live, watching it on playback later, or listening on your favorite podcast app, we truly appreciate you. We say it internally all the time, and we've said it more than once here live on the show. What a great community we have built with all of you. So thank you for your part. I say all the time, we know that you have a lot of entertainment options here on a Wednesday or Thursday evening, and we do appreciate that you take time to spend with us. So with that, we'll let you all go to bed, because we all have jobs tomorrow. And for John Johnston, for Minnie Hunt, I'm Greg Mahochko. This is the 5 Heart Podcast. Thank you, Fred Sacco, reminding you each and every week that 5 Heart is all the heart you need. John?
We got into a car, away it started rolling. I said, how much you pay for this? He said, nothing, man, it's stolen. Punk rock girl. Go Big Red.
Oh, yeah.
You got to say something.
Oh, sorry. Go Big Red.
Thank you. We couldn't end the show otherwise.